Thank you very much, Maba, for that welcome, and good morning to all of you that are here today and also those who are watching at home, and to the fellow leaders and representatives of the political parties here today. I want to say what an absolute honor it is to be sharing the podium with all of you today as we set out and make the announcement around our plans for Nelson Mandela Bay and how we intend to bring hope, transparency, accountability, and most of all, delivery to the people of Nelson Mandela Bay. Each of the constituent parties seated at this table in front of you have different philosophies and different ideologies. They have different approaches, but have found common ground around the key principles of what we want to achieve for the people of Nelson Mandela Bay and what we want to achieve for this city going forward. Because this is undoubtedly a city in great crisis. It has been plagued by instability. It's been plagued by too many people who've put their own personal interests ahead of the interests of the people of Nelson Mandela Bay. And so whilst we may all have different philosophies, we understand that the people of Nelson Mandela Bay can't eat philosophies, and ideologies don't necessarily mean delivery. And so we've come together today around a program of action that's going to put Nelson Mandela Bay on a new trajectory of hope, of prosperity, of growth, and of inclusivity for many, many people in the city. And this is a fundamentally important day today in Nelson Mandela Bay, but I believe it is also a significant day for South Africa as a whole. Because I fundamentally believe that what all of us do as political parties over the next 2 years is going to fundamentally change the trajectory of South Africa. And I think it will shape the destiny of South Africa in a way that is more profound than anything that our parties have done to date. And 2 years may sound like a very long time, but it's going to go by very, very quickly. And I believe that as South Africa, at a national level, and apart from one province, has only really known one-party rule for over 70 years. But the era of big majority parties is coming to an end. And that coalitions, like the one we're going to sign an agreement for today, are the way of the future. They are going to be the way in which we come together to find solutions to the common problems that face us, not only in Nelson Mandela Bay, but around the country. For far too long in this country, there's been a view that only one party has a monopoly on ideas. And we've seen where that has led us. Over 30 million people living in poverty, 42% of our people who don't have work, the highest unemployment rate, a youth unemployment rate in the world, and people around this country who are literally starving to death because they have a government who does not care about them and has no idea how to turn things around. And that 70 years of national party rule and followed by the 3 decades of ANC rule have left deep scars in our country and on our people. But I finally believe that that change and that healing process is now within our reach. 2024 is a real opportunity for us to enter uncharted territory and to take our first tentative steps as a multi-party government at a national level and in more provinces in the country. Chance to break free from exclusion, chance to break free from greedy exploitation, and for people who have too long put themselves ahead of the people. We finally have a stab at the kind of freedom that people expected 30 years ago. And the benefit for that freedom for citizens, whether you're rich or poor, young or old, black or white, cannot be overstated. Because I believe that this city and our country have barely scratched the surface of our real potential as a city and a nation. And it's going to be the parties represented at this table and others who put aside their petty differences to come together around a shared program of action and delivery and putting people first that's going to fundamentally change South Africa. And coalitions aren't easy, and believe you me, our parties are involved in a number of these coalitions at a national level and in other parts of the country, in many municipalities. And it means compromise. It means not always getting your own way. It means listening to other people. But I believe that the multiplicity of voices that are now going to be represented around the table here in Nelson Mandela Bay can only make the solutions better, more sustainable, and with far-reaching consequences for the people of Nelson Mandela Bay. So I want to thank the parties here with the maturity that they've shown, the fact that they've realized that this municipality is in the crisis that it's in, and that nobody else is going to come to save Nelson Mandela Bay. It's up to all of us to make sure that we liberate the people in the city from the shackles of corruption, maladministration, and give them hope for the future. And understanding that as we do this, the eyes of Nelson Mandela Bay's residents, but also the eyes of the nation, are going to be upon all of us. Because there is so little hope in South Africa, given the terrible circumstances that we find ourselves as a nation, that it is these coalitions and these leaders and these parties that are providing the silver lining of hope for many South Africans. That finally people can taste economic freedom. They can taste the freedom that democracy brings, and they can experience a delivery that good, clean, accountable government guarantees. So, as they say, one of my favorite people to quote, Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Yes, we can. Thank you.